Hello there, what's going on, my friends? It's Turgon the Wise, bringing a new video to you today. Today, we've reached the 2-week point in my 18th season playing Lord of the Rings Rise to War. As you can see here, I have the map pulled up for you, and we are seeing some pins. Coming up, we'll start up here in the northwest corner of the map. We've got Order on top in North Downs, top of Lame and YuDz here. And then we have Aces on top over here, this tiny red pin. It's small for a red pin. Usually when a red pin is under 1,000,000 deaths, I call it a tiny red pin. And then there's this one where is also on top, 1.2 million deaths here in the Etten Moors. So we getting some action on up in here. There's also another small pin here. Orange with aces on top. Out here in the west, we've got Nats fighting unaffiliated. So we got some unaffiliated war going on out there. In the far east, Stud has engaged Wing and Tree, and I don't know who Noid is, but they there. 2.4 million deaths, 6.7 million participants in the Carnan Vale. So we got some action up in here. And then of course we've got our war over in Gorgoroth. 3.2 million deaths, been going on for about 4 days, which is on target since this pass opened up 4 days ago. 9.4 million participants, 3.2 million deaths, YuDz aces. This is kind of just status quo now for us over here, just chilling out, doing that. Earlier today, Stud took Barad-dûr, and Lame captured Orthanc. So that is really what's going on around the map. Just to fill you in case you have not watched any of my other videos, the colored kingdoms on the map from left to right, the green kingdom is Nat and Safe. The hideous brown colored kingdom is YuDz and Lame. The Mars god of war red kingdom up in the north is Aces and Lame. The blue kingdom is Wing and Tree. And the nurple purple color over here in the southeast is Stud and Russ, which we don't see any Russ here yet. Maybe someday. So that's what's going on with the map. Let's go over to the season board here. You can see we began the season 14 days ago, thus it is now 2 weeks into the season. Technically, I'm about 12 hours late on this video. It's been about 12 hours since we reached the 2-week point because the season starts at 0800 UTC and it is now, what did it say? 2030. So apologies for that. Let's go over to the leaderboard, see where we're at there. Personal affluence, I'll just scroll through the top 30 kind of per usual. We've got our usual suspects between Lame, Aces, YuDz, Order, and a sprinkle of Stud in there now as well. Good stuff. In terms of the merit board, number 1 is the Wrath. Number 2 is Rocky, and 3 is Mythlove. So YuDz has quickly worked its way up the leaderboards. And I'll show you the top 30 here as well. So that's your top 30 in merit. Coming over to the fellowship board, YuDz has gotten a little bit of a lead now in the affluence department over Aces as we sent some folks out west to fight alongside Lame against Order. Aces send some people up there too, as you noticed from the pins. So we have now a 0.2 million lead in affluence over Aces. Lame is nipping on Aces' heels. Aces at 3.7, Lame at 3.6. Stud is coming in at fourth now at 2.7 with Order at 2.5. Poor Order is a little bit stuck. They don't really have anywhere to go and farm, so that's why they've stalled a bit. And then Nat's Nature is at 2.2. Tree at 1.8. Russ at 1.6. Wing at 1.5. Safe at 1.1. And then a couple smaller war bands, Papa Fire, Warlords, chilling out down at the bottom there. So that is really all there is to show you pretty much today. Coming back to the map, we got these ring regions. I actually need to apologize and issue a correction. In my previous video, I said I was 100% sure these passes open up at 0800 UTC on Monday. Joke is on me. They open at 0800 UTC on Sunday. So I apologize for being 100% positive that I was wrong. So I just want to make that correction, issue that correction. So we'll be starting to fight there towards the end of the weekend, and we'll see what happens with the ring. Let's go back to the season leaderboard, so you can see that timing now. 1 day, 11 hours, 25 minutes. That is, that is 0800 UTC on Sunday. The next seize control at the end of the countdown, kingdoms will be ranked according to the regions occupied. I am 99% sure. I'm not going to say 100% sure ever again. I'm 99% sure that this lasts 1 week. It's a 1 week timer. And then once you get through that timer, there are no more timers on the remaining chapters for the season. So there will be no timer for this. There are multiple kingdoms with 3 significant control points. So this will just once this timer ticks down, this will automatically be done and DG will open, because that is one of the rewards, whatever, perks from completing this chapter. So DG's coming soon, but we still got another week to go until that happens. And then, of course, there's the final season chapter. So it's crazy to think that we're, 2 weeks in, but really we're coming. The season can go as long as 60 days, but most of the time seasons end up getting cut off somewhere between 50 and 55. I guess it depends on what the activity level of the server is, what's happening around the server. So it'll be interesting to see how long whatever algorithm the developers have in place deigns for us to be on the server for. Will we be here for 45 days, 50 days, 55 days? Will they take us the whole 60? We'll wait and see. I know you must be just shivering in suspense. So that's the map. That's the situation. It's a hell of a server. Aces in Order putting up a hell of a fight. There's been some unexpected twists that have happened. Lame having an upper hand over Order up in the West was not anticipated. We didn't had when you have a freshly merged team, you have no idea what they're going to be like. You just have to kind of wait and see. And they've been a wonderful surprise and a great joy to work with. So I want to extend my thanks, of course, over to the leaders in Lame for being outstanding partners. I appreciate you all this season. It's been great working with you so far and looking forward to the rest of the way. The other big surprise is this Purple Kingdom stud, which was a third team that got formed kind of with, I don't want to call them, like, it sounds demeaning in a way, but the way that a lot of it is painted or portrayed, or the expectation that we were given leading into the season, was that these were kind of the leftovers of the Lame Iron merger. They Some people were asked to come join Lame, and this game is a social game, and some people, um, they want to be competitive, but they want to play with their friends. So when you get invited to a team, a newly merged team, and your friends don't, then you a lot of people, I find, tend to stick with their friends. And that's kind of what happened. Some people that were asked to join Lame, but their friends weren't, decided not to go to Lame, and they formed this team Stud. And this is information, like, this is from conversations that I've had. We had no communication with this team at all leading into the season. The expectation that we were given from our partners was that this would be an overflow team, and so we sent a couple of people that we couldn't bring with us, 3 players exactly, um, to them, so that if we had somebody go AFK, missing in action, they couldn't play, we would have a bench, so that we could fill that spot with an active player. And turns out those players are pretty happy over there. I had a spot opened up and reached out to a guy, and he's like, "Nah, I'm going to stay here." Oh, okay. That's, the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And, it's a game, and however people want to play, and whatever team people choose to be on, that's their prerogative. So no judgment there. But I just wanted to make it crystal clear that this team is not our third team. We started communicating with them after the season started, because especially after the chapter 4 passes unlocked and we came roaring out over towards Mordor and Gondor after eating Southern Rovanian in a staggering 20 hours. Literally, it took no more than 20 hours for us to completely deplete the entirety of Southern Rovanian of all tiles that were 10 and above. And a lot of them that were level 8 and above. 130 tiles, mind you. The level 10 tiles are 200s, if you're thinking in the old school terms. So we started talking with them because originally our plan was, we're going to spawn in Rohan, and we're going to eat Gondor, and we're going to eat Mordor, and we're going to eat Southern Ravanian, and then we'll be all set up for the big clash when the center opens. But them being a full team, they were able to fill the remaining spots while they were in Bag End. um, the details of that, I don't know. I guess maybe some friends talked with friends and invited their friends, and maybe some randoms joined. Whatever the case may be, they ended up being a completely full team of 100 players, and they're very nice. Mostly. I only say that because there's a former pirate, and I'm just joking with him by saying that. Um, but they are not by any stretch of the imagination a team that is under our domain. They're a completely independent team doing what a completely independent team would do on a server like this. They are respecting the 2v2. We formed a nap with them and said, okay, you can have Mordor. Obviously, you've earned it. You farmed the whole damn thing in 4 days. So clearly, you have some strength and activity going on there. And we definitely didn't want to have these guys fighting us as we're fighting, one of the other strongest war bands in the game, Aces, which we knew we were going to have fights with them. We wanted to fight them at this pass when it opened. So we forged a non-aggression pact, or for those who are not familiar with the acronym, a NAP, with Stud, that basically said, all right, we're going to split Rohan. You have everything to the east of this river, and we're going to take everything to the west. RUSS is another completely random team, and quite honestly, they've been a huge pain in the ass the whole season, complaining about taking tiles, blah, blah, blah. They decided to take Balfalos, which is technically ours. Whatever, we don't care. We're going to let it go. Um, there was some drama because some leader in our USS put some kind of an announcement out saying that they were awaiting orders from YuDz, which was unequivocally false. I have no idea why that person decided to say that. This precipitated some very strong conversation between ourselves and Aces and Order once they got a screenshot of that, and so we had a lot of tensions because of this piece of misinformation, because they are not a third team that is uh, part of our domain. We don't tell Stud or Russ what to do. They make their own decisions. They're their own entity, and they made it clear that what they're going to do is take this pass, go up the east side of the map, and go and fight Wing and Tree, and that is what they have done. Since then, they have also forged a non-aggression pact with Aces, so all of these regions in Rune is Aces. So we have sacrificed Mordor and half of Gondor, and Aces have sacrificed half of Rune for Stud. So I think we're pretty kind of even Steven in that sense. And now they're over here fighting um, these teams in Erebor. So that's what's going on with that. That's what's going on with the main groups over here fighting. And that's the season in a nutshell right now. I hope I explained that in a way that is easily understandable and fair to all parties involved. Um, that is the facts as I am aware of them at any rate. So I hope that this dispels any sort of misinformation that this team is a team of people that we can just tell what to do whenever we want. That's not how it works. It never was, and it never will be. So we are honoring the 2v2. They're honoring the 2v2. The 2v2 is what matters. And currently, based upon the data that I see in terms of affluence and owning the map and being part of the battles, currently there is a slight edge, maybe a little bit more than slight edge on the Brown Kingdom compared to Mars God of War Red Kingdom, but we still have a long way to go. Anything can happen. Aces and Order are great teams. We respect them. We do not underestimate them, and we're looking forward to more battles between now and the end. So, as always, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch my video. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourselves and stay well. Turgon the Wise signing off. Cheers, my friends.